to imagine that you were alive 2,000 years ago and you wanted to build a bridge across a relatively wide stream. Your choices weren't very many. You could fell a tree if the stream was narrow, and you could build a bridge by walking across the tree. The tree would then be what engineers call a beam.
The simple idea, the beam, had been in use since at least 12,000 BC at Stonehenge on the windswept plains of southern Britain. Beams, or lintels, spanned moderately spaced pillars in this ancient structure. The Greeks later used this method of construction for temples. It was practical and could be beautiful, but was limited to the width that a wood or stone beam could span before it collapsed. But somewhere, sometime in the ancient world, someone realized that there was a better way to build grand yet practical structures. Unfortunately, building materials in the ancient world had limitations, forcing early architects to be creative.
The constraint that the Romans had to operate under was the availability of materials. You can't build beams out of blocks of rock. You could build beams out of timber, that was available to the Romans, but again, you were limited to very short spans. So by necessity, they had to discover a new structural form, a shape, which would generate only compressive forces for which both rock and concrete were ideal materials. And the innovativeness of Roman engineers that discovered that the arch was the ideal form for that time and still is an ideal form for our time.
They took an old and simple idea and built a civilization upon it. But what really makes this form so wondrous?